Hey family, my name is Chris, I am your home gamer dad, and I welcome you back to the boss fight finale of God of War, the card game, where Kratos, Atreus, and Mimir are going up against a really hard adversary. Hopefully they have built out their decks enough in order to be able to take it down. If not, then that could spell Ragnarok for the entire world. So we've completed 2 quests already. We've beaten the Ogre, which was the first one, and then we defeated the Stone Ancient. So we don't have to worry about those anymore. We're now on to the 3rd and final tier of our quest line, which features the bosses. As you can see, we have our possible bosses that we are going to be going up against. I have chosen to go up against the mighty dragon Hraezlyr, sure, why not? Because I have yet to see anybody go up against him online, and I really like this fight during the game. It was absolutely phenomenal, and it was like the first time Atreus ever really saw Kratos be that like crazy, I can kill anything that's massively bigger than me type of Spartan. So we're going up against the dragon, but that also means that Sigrun and Magni and Modi both get flipped over. And we take 2 hindrances going into the boss fight. Sigrun the Valkyrie Queen. Not having Sigrun's help to defeat Odin may make the quest unachievable. Hindrance. Before the first round, each player removes from their deck 2 special or defense cards in any combination. Magni and Modi. Letting this opportunity pass by leaves Thor in possession of his mighty hammer. Consequently, Odin grows stronger. Hindrance. Before the first round, each player removes the 2 highest number cards from their deck. That is some nasty hindrances right off the hop there, and we will deal with them once we get down to the table. But until then, let's go ahead and face the dragon. Hraezlyr. Brock and Sindri could make good use of such a mythic creature as Hraezlyr. Not alive, of course. Perhaps the key to surviving Ragnarok and defeating Odin lies in weapons, armor, and upgrades. From the dragon's bone, special rules. Each part of Hraezlyr is considered to be an independent enemy. Winning condition. Defeat the head to defeat Hraezlyr. All right, everyone. There it is. Look at that. Look at that. Great. Oh, that looks so cool. Man, that dragon is so menacing. Holy crud. This is going to be a tough fight. Totally off the wall. Oh my God, this is going to be great. I mentioned in the last video, I say it again, I preemptively apologize if my voice sounds weird, if it cracks, if you hear me cough, wheeze, all that crazy stuff. I am very close to being over whatever illness that has been plaguing me for the past like 2 weeks, but I really wanted to get this done and get this played. So here we are doing that. If you need any other updates, check out the community tab on the Home Gamer Dad page. Otherwise, we have 2 hindrances that we have to adhere to. First, Sigrun, which was either 2 shields or 2 special cards getting removed from our deck. So I'm removing both of these. And then for, what is the other one? Magni and Modi was 2 of your highest number cards. So unfortunately, I only have 3s in there. So this one I added last time is gone. And this one is gone as well. So unfortunately, all 4 of these cards are out of the game because I will not be using them for this particular run. So whatever we have here is what we have. And oh boy, here we go. Once again, as a reminder, we are playing as Kratos. He has 10 health. His Spartan Rage goes up to 5 before we can use his Rage ability, which will add 3 to the next attack, heal for 3, and refresh all of our allies' powers. Allies have multiple powers, each with multiple options on them. Atreus can either give us +3 to the next attack, or give us a ranged attack that'll also stun, but we'll need to add stuff to that in order to modify it and make it powerful. And then he can also change a range attack that we have to hit 2 enemies in the scene, or give us a defense of 1 in a pinch in case something's coming at us. Mimir, the wise talking head here, can either cause the enemy die to add to the attack rather than count as defense for the enemy, or straight up to heal. He'll also give us a second move if we need it, or we can look at the top 2 cards of the upgrade deck and place them back in any order, on top, on the bottom. It doesn't really matter. Very good in order to be able to predict what's coming up, because I'm going to tell you right now, going up against this dragon, we need range cards. The dragon likes to stun. That's pretty much his big thing. He does all this electrical attacks and all these crazy things like that. So he's going to be putting a lot of stuns into our deck as we go through the game. So this attack right here straight up has the stun ability connected to it. So if he hits me for this for at all, I am stunned. In addition to that, we have 2 effects within the scene itself. So if I draw this X or this F, I have to discard a range card. If I can't discard a range card during the scene activation, I get a stun into my deck immediately. Same thing for these down here. If I draw either an X or an F during the scene activation, when they trigger down here, I have to discard the highest number cards from my hand, depending on which one of these are. So I may want to think about possibly getting rid of some of these. I don't know if they come back at all, but as the card said, each one of these parts is actually an individual enemy, even though they're all part of Hraezlyr's main body. Ultimate goal is to do 60 points of damage to him, which is ridiculous, especially because the only way the dragon takes damage is from the interaction spots. So right here, I would need to have one of those shattered crystals and a ranged card. I would discard both of those from my hand to do 10 damage to the dragon. In addition to that, if I draw either one of these like little footprints, bird prints, or this fish during the scene activation, both of these flip. So then his head like opens up or moves around or whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see where these turn into as we go through the game. So that's kind of the base right now for this fight. Let's place Kratos somewhere and then draw our first hand. I'm going to place Kratos here. I want to take this out, and I'm kind of curious what will happen if this flips. So yeah, well, I'm going to go here, and then we'll go. So we have our deck. Oops, I'm back here. So we have our deck here now that is minus those 4 cards. So it's a little bit thinner, but at the same time, we need to be able to do stuff. And I have to be careful when it comes to range cards because I need them in case any one of these activate. Oops, this is getting a little bit off the side. There we go. Okay, perfect. Good. Wonderful. Here we go. Drawing our first 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the boss fight has begun. All right, cool. We got some attacks right away. So we got that attack. That's a 2. That's a modifier, which is awesome. That's a modifier, which is awesome. That I can pretty much do whatever the heck I want. We have another defensive card here, and then we have a healing card, which I can discard any number card in order to be able to heal that amount. And then I have the cancel all damage from a single source and then deal that damage back. So I'm going to definitely use this for the scene activation. There's going to be plenty of things I know I'm going to need it for. We got this right here. I'm probably going to start with this as my first attack. You know what? Let's even just do another 2. So Kratos is going to go ahead and do an 8 attack right here against this particular spot. So let's bring these to my hand, or at least off camera. We'll raise our Spartan Rage up by 1 because we use the melee attack for that. Let's go ahead and roll the dice. 0. Sweet. Okay, cool. So I have now done 8 damage to this. So this flips over. Are you kidding? That is great. Oh my God. All players gain a +2 hand limit. So technically these 2 tokens would go on top of the deck, meaning that I could draw an additional 2 cards every turn. So I get 9 cards a turn. However, whenever I draw this particular symbol here, a ranged attack of 1 damage is coming at me. So this is still going to occasionally do me damage, but it doesn't have to worry about it. I've destroyed this particular claw, so I don't have to take anything. I don't have to take the stun damage from it. However, there's nothing else I can do about this particular damage going forward. So Kratos is back here. I do get my move. I think I am going to move. I will move. I'm just going to move 1 over here. So this one, maybe I can start taking these 2 out next turn. But before we do any of that, we have our scene activation. So the first card we draw. Oh, okay. +1 to an allied attack, +2 to an allied attack if they're in the same color. See, I'm probably not going to take that because that's not going to do anything for me because I don't have any allies within my area. And then the unfortunate thing is this is going to trigger because I do not have a long range in my hand. So I immediately get a stun card to put on top of my deck. That stinks. And then this is going to hit Kratos for 2. But I do have this defensive card, so I'm going to use that. So instead of taking 2 damage, I'm only going to take 1, and I'll do 1 damage to that. So Kratos gets 1, and this one part of Hraezlyr takes 1 as well. And then this guy would normally hit Kratos for 4, but I have that super cancel ability, so all 4 damage gets canceled and gets attacked right back here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. So this way on Kratos' next turn, he can possibly take that out. But we still have one more we got to flip here. And that happens to be... that's not really that great, but all right. So we get another stun card added to our hand. Thank God we have a hand limit that increased by 2 because of these stuns. And then this 2 damage will hit Kratos because I have nothing, unfortunately, to block it. So that's there. And then this 4, I mean, I don't have any number cards anyway to discard, so it doesn't really matter. This is all I have, so I discard it regardless. But this doesn't hit me because Kratos isn't anywhere here. And then this is going to go to my deck because out of the 2, this is the only one I can really use, and I don't have any stuns in my discard pile. So that's pretty much how that's going to be for this activation phase. On to the next. Next round. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards because of this ability right here to draw 2 extra cards. Ooh, that was good. I'm so glad we found that. So we got 2 stun cards here. When you draw these, immediately discard them. So now my hand is back to 7. I can advance the thing. I can heal myself. I can draw an additional card. So a lot of purples there. Melee attack or modifier. Melee attack or modifier. Standard modifier. And we have right here a defensive card. So let me just go ahead and discard this. And we add in another defensive card. Okay, so no range cards here at all to be able to take this out. But at least I have a melee attack that I can attempt to take this guy down. Okay, let's go ahead and take this advance 2 and advance the rage track up by 2. Let me move these guys over here. And a 1 and a 2, so we're up to 3. Cool. I'm going to hold off on healing myself, and I'm going to take these defensive cards and just kind of hang on to them for right now for the scene activation phase. So now I have all of this in order to work with. What I am going to do is I'm going to jump to Atreus, and I'm going to use this ability here. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to trigger a long range, a ranged ability that will also stun. Nothing about this says that the dragon can't be stunned. So if I do this and modify it up, I should be able to hopefully take it down. It doesn't increase my rage at all, but at least I'll be able to do that. So that would be 2 damage. So I'm just going to go ahead and just do it all. So that's 2, 4, 5 damage that I'm going to be targeting this here. So let's see. If I roll a 1, I at least still kill it. I did roll a 1. Sweet. Awesome. Beautiful. So then that's 4 damage to this. It already had 1 attack to it, so that's 5 in total. So now this comes off, and this flips. Whoa, I get to add a shattered crystal to my deck. So that goes right on top of the deck. And if I happen to if I happen to pull the F from the upgrade deck, then this will flip back over, thus resetting this card back to how it was. So that's I'm sure that's what this one does as well. So I got to keep that in mind as I go on. I still want to check out these claws and see if I can beat them. But unfortunately, that is all the attack cards that I have for this turn. Before I go ahead, I am going to just use Mimir's other ability down here to look at the top 2 upgrade decks here in order to be able to figure out, what it is that I have. And I think I might as well just use this as well and just heal up 2 because I feel like I'm going to have my Spartan Rage very soon. So let's go ahead and take these away. So at least I only have 1. Ooh, come back here. Where'd you go? You were at 3. I got to do 2 more in order to be able to get that. So that should work. And now for the upgrade phase, we're going to use Mimir's ability first. So we're going to look at the first 2 cards and figure out where we want those to go. So 1, oh, I love that. And 2. All right, so you're immediately going to the bottom, just like this. And then I'm just going to go ahead and play that right now. So the dragon flips, and this attacks me. So I will take 1 damage here. So let's just flip the dragon. Oh boy. Okay. This is something. So first things first, when revealed, immediately deal 1 damage to all heroes. So boom, Kratos takes a hit. Now the target is up here, which is 1 melee, I'm sorry, 1 range and the Shattered Crystal. If I discard both of those, then I deal 20 damage to him, which is awesome. So that means his mouth is open. So I threw it in there and it blew up. And then if I do that, then both of these flip back over. Additionally, if the symbol here, this little fish thing or whatever, is pulled from the upgrade deck and he attacks with a melee attack, after the melee attack has been resolved, then this flips over as well. So there's 2 ways that this flips back in order for him to shut his mouth. And then when he opens his mouth, he does an electrical attack that hits everybody, which stinks. Ugh. In addition to that, Kratos will be taking 1 damage from this card. Good thing I still have that heal 4 in my hand. Oh boy. Good thing I have the shield cards and the heal card in order to be able to deal with that. So anyway, next one. Here we go. Okay. So we got the F symbol here. So that means this guy flips back over. There's going to be a lot of flipping in this. I can already tell. So now this comes back. It doesn't trigger at all because I only just pulled it. So that's that. And now this goes. This will do 4 damage to Kratos, which I can at least block 2 of it using 1 of my shields. So that's good at least. So I block 2. So I take 2. But I'm also then going to use my heal yourself for 4 ability. And I'm going to go ahead and pull 4 off. So now Kratos only has 1 damage on him. But he's also close to his Spartan Rage. So I'll be able to heal up again. So I have healing, which is great. This is absolutely going to the top of my deck because I need my range abilities in order to protect myself as well as deal damage. And then you will go to the bottom, and that ends the scene activations on to the next draw phase. Oh yeah, and this is nothing. I should have used this to block at least 1 of the other damage. I didn't, so I'm just going to take it and be like, whoops, sorry. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh boy, I love it. So good. All right, so we definitely have the Shattered Crystal and a ranged attack first. Actually, do I have... Hold on a second. No, come back. I mean, that's here, but I'd probably use these because it's still a ranged attack and the Shattered Crystal. So both of those would be perfect to take out this. So we have another one of those. We also have another range and modifier. A do whatever I want type card. Well, the Leviathan axe. You either hit something or you throw it at something. And then another melee attack. I got a few modifiers here. And then I have the hit whatever damage I defend against goes back and hits the enemy. So we got a really massive amount of cool things here that I can use. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this melee attack here. Let's move these up. I'm going to take this melee attack here, and I'm going to use this +2 modifier. So now it's a 3 attack that I'm going to go against here for. Again, if I roll a 1 or a 0, I still kill it. Anything higher than maybe not. So a 1. Okay, cool. So then I do 2 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So that does 6 damage to this. Let me take these hearts off. And flips that claw. All right, so all it does is adds another Shattered Crystal to my deck, so that can go into my deck, which is fine by me. And again, the F will flip this back over. So maybe all the claws and all the wings and everything do that as well. This is the only one that like stays permanently not that way. Don't want to forget to move this up 1 because then we're 1 step closer to his maximum rage ability. And actually, while I am still here, what I am going to do is I'm going to use this range. Well, let's use this range. Let's use this. This is back to my discard pile. Yeah, so let's use this range and both of these modifiers. So if I do a 6-point attack against here, I may be able to defeat this, flipping it over and then causing another Shattered Crystal go into my deck and not having to worry about this, at least until maybe if I draw something else. So we have 2, 4, 6 minus 0, which is great. That's awesome. So that flips. And then this again puts another Shattered Crystal into my deck, which is fine. And now this would just flip over if an F is drawn. So these can go into the discard pile. All right, so this is what I have left. I'm going to go ahead and use my move action to go over here. And I'm going to discard a Shattered Crystal and the ranged attack here in order to do 20 damage to the dragon. So I threw it at him. Boom, shattered in his face. Does 10, 20 damage. Just move Kratos down. So now both of these flip back over. Put him back up here. It's definitely well worth it to hit him while his mouth is open, but he does do a massive amount of damage if that's the case, because otherwise it will only do 10 points of damage with a Shattered Crystal and a ranged ability. But now I've added a bunch of Shattered Crystals to my deck, so this is going to be very interesting. I'm going to hold on to these two in case something like here is drawn, if I have to discard something so I don't get stunned. And then, of course, taking less damage is always a good thing. So let's move these over and let's go to the scene activation phase. Before I do that, I do got to remember to move this up here. I did earn my Spartan ability using my, this went up to here from the melee, and this went to here using the first range before I discarded the other two. So I'm at full Spartan rage, which is great. I'll probably definitely going to need that. Oh boy, here we go. Let's see what happens. All right, after using this card to move it from your deck until the next quest, it would literally be a one-time use for this right now. But in any event, we have this like bird symbol, whatever. So, okay, so it's going to hit me, and that's going to flip. All right, so the Jerky Dragon does do 1 damage to me, and then this also does 1 damage to me. I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use either one of these right now. I'm just going to take the 2 damage, and we'll just plop them right here on Kratos' card. That should be fine, because Spartan Rage, once I use it, will heal me for those 3. That should be fine. Second card in the sequence, +3, and another one of those. Okay, so now that you are flipped, you actually don't have that bird symbol anymore, but I will get hit. So I'm going to go ahead and just discard this one for the heck of it to not take that damage, and that should be good. As far as which one of these I want to take, do I really need this? Do I want to use this? I could probably take this. I don't need to hit anything for like extreme. You know what? Yeah. Do I? Oh God. No, I'm going to take the 3. I'm going to take the 3. The 3 is better because I can use it more times as it shuffles through my deck continuously. So I'm going to definitely take the 3. So I'm discarding this because I don't need it anymore. And this goes to the bottom. And oh boy. Let's hope that I pull a shatter. I know I'm going to pull a Shattered Crystal. I definitely need to pull some long range to do more damage to this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shuffling a nice big deck of cards here, but there's a lot of stuns in here as well, which is not so wonderful. So that's 6. 3 more. Come on. There we go. 5. Just cut that in half. 7, 8, 9. Oh, what do we get? What do we get? Boom, stun. So that just goes away. So now we have 8 cards in our hand. 2 Shattered Crystals. But wait. Long range. Oh, that's good. So those 2 would match up very nicely. We also have a melee with modifier, and a defense card. So, okay. Here we go. First thing we know we're going to do is we're absolutely going to do this here. So let's move Kratos over. I'm going to discard both of these, discarding both of these in order to be able to trigger this to do 20 more damage. This guy isn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. I could also just be getting lucky. So we do that, and we flip these 2. Okay, so now his mouth is closed. He is ready to go. Kratos is here. I'm actually going to move Kratos over here to take the move. I kind of want his mouth to open again. Oh, God. But I mean, it's like, I could, actually, you know what? No, before I move, I'm going to go ahead and discard these 2. It doesn't cause him to flip, but at least I can do 10 more damage to him. So now I just have to do 10 more damage by using the Shattered Crystals and everything like that in order to be able to beat him. Now I move over here. And with that, we'll use the axe, 3, 6, and beforehand, in terms of me moving over, we'll say that we use my Spartan Rage at that point. So then I can heal myself for 3. I'll add another 3 to the attack, and Atreus and Mimir's powers have recharged. So with that, we'll add 3 to this. So it's 3, 6, 9, 10. 10 against 6, and we roll 0. That's destroyed. So that means that flips over. And what ho, of course, we are adding ourselves another shattered crystal into the deck. And then, of course, it'll flip back over once an X is revealed. Let's kind of straighten this out a little bit more. There we go. Man, holy geez, I'm getting so lucky in terms of like things not flipping over. And even though I got a lot of stuns got put in the beginning, I'm actually holding my own pretty well. Most of the dragon is defeated, which is crazy already. Oh, boy. All right, this helped a lot. This helped a lot. Grabbing this early, oh, boy, yeah. All right, let's move this. There's nothing else Kratos can do right now, so let's go ahead to the scene activation. Before I do that, we're going to go ahead to Mimir, and just for the heck of it, we're going to go ahead and use this ability here to look at the top 2 cards of the upgrade deck. I would love to be able to pull a long range in order to be able to finally finish off this dragon in pretty much record time. All right, Mimir, what do we got? I don't want that. I don't want that either. But do I want that? Do I want the fish? I think I want the fish, actually, because that'll cause this guy to flip over. Nothing else will activate, which is great. I will take my 1 damage, which is fine, and I could possibly put a +4 in. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're going to do that. So you're going to go to the bottom, and you're going to go on top, but then we're just going to activate it anyway, and these 2 will flip. Again, it flipped over, so this actually does not immediately trigger, but when revealed, immediately deal 1 damage to all heroes, which means Kratos will take his 1 damage back to him. He got up to like 6 damage this time, so that's the highest I've gotten so far. That's pretty crazy that I managed to pull him back down to 1. Anywho, on to the next flip, which is, okay, so we got ourselves that little fish thing again, which means this guy right here is going to attack for 3. He would hit all 3 of these spaces, so anybody in here would get nailed. I do have a defense of 2 in my hand, so at least I can reduce it by 2, only taking 1 damage from this electric breath attack. All right, so 1 damage, boom, onto Kratos. No problem there. As far as which one of these do I want in my deck, I'm really not too sure. I'm probably going to take the +4 modifier because any modifiers are great, especially in order to reduce damage and all that other stuff, or to increase the damage output of something. Yeah, I'm going to take the +4. I think I can definitely use that next turn more than I can the healing right now. Hopefully that doesn't bite me in the butt, but we shall see. All right, depending on what we draw, this might be the last round. Man, we if that's the case, we went through this quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So many cards. So many cards. I have to have what I need. I have to. I do. I absolutely do. The Shattered Crystal I got from the last one. And here is the range that I would need in order to be able to beat it. In addition to that, the +4 that I got there. We got a melee attack with a modifier. Straight up melee attack that does 2. Got some defensive cards right here, especially the ones that retaliates the damage. The melee or the long range attack here. And then another defensive card right there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang on to these. I'm not going to make it to the activation phase, but we're going to have some fun. We're going to go ahead and we're going to use this card right here. We're going to go ahead with this range. I mean, it's this modifier. And this modifier, whoops, come back. And that would be 1, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're going to use Kratos as well. So we're going to go, I'm not Kratos, Atreus' ability right here. We're going to increase it by another 3. So that would be a 10-point attack. And we're going to go up here and we're going to knock out this particular horn for this guy. So we're doing 10 points of damage on him. It's going to not matter because I'm going to roll. And even if it's a 5, it's a 2. If it was a 5, I would still deal the 5 amount of damage. So that flips. And what ho, of course, it's exactly what we thought it was. Add a Shattered Crystal to your deck. Only flips back over if the X is done. This all goes back into the discard pile, which is fine by me. This is what we have left. I'm going to go ahead and use my move to over here. And then we're going to discard both of these to do 20 damage, which is an overkill because that's 70 damage to this thing. You, my friend, and all your little bips and bobs and pieces and everything like that are dead. Oh my God. dead, dead. We did it. Wow. How many? That was like barely any rounds at all that we were able to get through that. Holy jeez, that was awesome. That was not as hard of a boss fight as I thought it was going to be, but I think a lot of it has to do with solo mode. So, oh boy, that was great. That was boy, we did it. Boy. Well, there you have it, family. A full, complete run-through of God of War, the card game. 2 quests and a final boss straight through from beginning to end. Now, solo mode, I believe, is a little bit easier of a mode to go through. If you've noticed, there was a lot of, like, when enemy attacks and everything like that, it would really always just concentrate on Kratos, regardless of wherever he was. If you had multiple people playing, even though you think the damage would get spread out, there's actually more chances where more enemies would hit different players, and then you'd have to really consider how you want to spend your healing supplies and everything in order to be able to keep everybody in the game. Plus, that last boss right there did 1 damage to all heroes that, you know, whenever he revealed himself. And if you had Mimir in the game as just Mimir, he only has 4 health. So that can only happen so many times before Mimir goes down. So I think the game really like scales up in terms of difficulty the more players you have, whereas single player, you can kind of manage things a lot better, manage your deck better, manage the enemies better. And also, I got really lucky. Got lucky on my rolls, and I got lucky about which particular panels in order to flip over and fight first, because trust me, beating that dragon, having those 2 extra cards in my hand, oh, every turn just really made it just that much easier to deal with. Final thought that I do have on God of War is that I really hope that CMON continues this game with Ragnarok that just came out. And what I want is, I want more scenes. I need more scenes in order to play, because you can only do so many before things like you're replaying the same scenes over and over again. You really have like 6 main scenes and 6 boss scenes in order to be able to mix and match and everything. I need at least double that in order to like really want to come back. I need more allies to play as. I haven't played Ragnarok as of this recording, so I don't know who in that game could come over here to play, but you have to be able to get like 2 or 3 new players into the mix in order to be able to do stuff. Plus, I want Kratos to have a Blades of Chaos alternative to him. So he has this one, he has the Leviathan axe, give him the Blades of Chaos, which does different things. And then maybe you can even create your own deck of like 14 cards that you can mix and match Leviathan Axe and Blades of Chaos together, because like in the actual game, you could swap weapons on the fly. And I think that would be so awesome to be able to kind of make a custom deck for Kratos with all the different weapons that he possibly has. Or you could just play as any one of the other characters. Like that, those are things that I want to see in a future like version of this game, if CMON actually decides to do it. Crossing fingers, I really hope they do, because, you know, it's a decent game. It's really fun, and I hope that they have the rights in order to make a Ragnarok version. Guys, thank you so much for following me on this adventure through God of War, the card game. Thank you again for bearing with me during my illness as I'm going through this. I should be nearly completely healed by the time this goes up and everything, enough to the point where I know what I'm going to be doing next in terms of what's coming to this channel, and I won't have to worry about me sounding, I don't know, groggy and like I have a frog in my throat, or I'm going through puberty, or some other weird things along that way. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate everything you guys do. Let me know what you think of God of War down in the comments below, whether it be the video games, old, new, Ragnarok, no spoilers, and then also how it relates to the game itself. If you want to see more things, if you want to see more scenes, if by them adding more stuff to it would actually get you interested to buy it, because I think that's kind of a big thing as well, because if it doesn't show the sales, then they won't actually, you know, make anything new, if CMON even still has a license. So let me know all that in the comments below. Guys, you've been amazing. Thank you so much. Be sure to subscribe to the Home Gamer Dad, so this way you don't miss any future content of gameplays, how to plays, Power Rangers stuff. I'm going to be doing Final Girl things. I got a lot of stuff that now that my voice is finally starting to come back, I want to get down and start recording and get moving on and really end 2022 with a bang and make sure 2023 is fantastic. Remember, we are family forever, gaming together. You guys are awesome. Be the strongest, most powerful dad of war, mom of war, brother, sister, whatever of war you can be. Protect those around you and always be broodingly awesome for all to see. I also need that boy card. Anybody that knows how to find it, let me know. Later.